From the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City, this Mountaineer basketball report is brought to you by United Bank. We're united with the Mountaineers. In a game which produced a combined total of just 101 points, no surprise it came down to defense, and West Virginia got the last stop as they advanced to the championship of this Big 12 Conference Championship Tournament. Hi everybody, Tony Caridi along with Jay Jacobs. No, it was not pretty by any stretch of the imagination, but since, Jay, we're in this month of March, you can use the phrase you survive and you advance. West Virginia wins it 51-50, despite the fact that it shot just under 27% from the field.
How about that, Tony? And what did Jim Valvano say? Never give up, never give up. Well, that's what happened here tonight. They did not give up. They persevered through this one, and shooting, as you said, 27%. But when you have Nate Adrian and Javon Carter not getting very many points, 10 combined, and you win the game, takes a lot of effort.
It really does, and so it was Issa Ahmad who makes the free throw to give West Virginia the lead and the win, and Tariq Phillip. They did their damage in the second half of play, but in this game that was dominated by defense, Bob Huggins would tell you, Jay, that it was the 1-3-1 zone that they used late in the second half, which turned the entire game.
You know what, Tony? That's what Bruce Weber, the Kansas State coach, said in his press conference. He said that we honestly, and he was honest, we have not worked on the 1-3-1 zone at all. Right timing, and we've seen Huggs do this all through the season. He has a knack for changing the defense at exactly the right time, just to energize your team. And that's exactly what happened here tonight.
Yeah, it was. So West Virginia wins it, and after the game was over, Bob Huggins and a couple of Mountaineer players took to the podium.
We went attacking the basket. We kind of felt like we were settling for threes. And, we talked about that at halftime. We just wanted to get to the rim. That's what we did.
Tariq, what went right in the second half after no points in the first?
We guarded a lot better. We rebounded, and we made shots.
For you personally, though?
Oh, for me personally? I don't really know, to be honest. As I said, we just made shots and we guarded the ball a lot better.
I think I asserted myself tonight. My teammates kept me positive throughout the whole slump. My coaches kept me positive, and, they told me I was due for a good game. And, I came out here and tried to give it my all, and that's what I did.
Coach, how do you explain a victory shooting 26.7%?
Coaching. I don't know. I told them at halftime, we got to find ways to score. We got to get more shots. We just, our whole thing is by either turning people over or rebounding the ball, we've got to get more shots than what our opposition does.
And so it's on to the championship game later today, West Virginia against the Cyclones of Iowa State. It's interesting, West Virginia's in this title game for the second straight year, and it's also interesting to note that it will be just 8 days that separates West Virginia and Iowa State from that last encounter. West Virginia beat them twice in the regular season.
Our best shooting team in the league, Tony. There's no doubt about that. So when you have this working, you know that you've played them before. You've beaten them twice. So you're pretty well set up for them. It will be an all-night session for the coaches, I'm sure, as they get ready for the championship game for the second year in a row.
All right, so West Virginia will try to finish some unfinished business. Those Mountaineer players that lost last season, they've been looking forward to this opportunity. We'll see how much gas they have in the proverbial tank. Tip-off is set for 6 o'clock. Pregame on Mountaineer Sports Network Radio begins at 5. We invite you to join us there along with the Silver Fox, Jay Jacobs. I'm Tony Caridi here on WVUSports.com. From the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City, this Mountaineer basketball report has been brought to you by United Bank. We're united with the Mountaineers.